What defines a successful species? Is it a complex mind, raw physical might, or simply where they stand in the food web? While all of these traits are important factors to consider, I believe that a species should ultimately be judged in three ways: how numerous it is, how many environments it can survive in, and how quickly it can replenish lost numbers. With this in mind, let's begin. First off are the undead. I'm lumping them together because they share many similarities, much more than they have differences. Undead creatures can't reproduce naturally. While baby zombies do exist, these unfortunate children were most likely turned instead of born. Adding on to this, the only life forms seen being converted to undead are villagers, but this is unreliable at best, putting them at a disadvantage. A major saving grace they possess are the various spawners which create them. Another undead disadvantage is how sunlight causes them to ignite. Husks are the only type that can withstand the sun's rays, but seeing as they lack spawners and don't turn villagers into more husks, ultimately I would place them even lower than other varieties. Spiders are similar to undead, but are their superiors in a multitude of ways. Firstly, they, unlike the undead, can reproduce being still living, though they still have spawners, which means that they have a reproductive advantage over their rotting competition. Secondly, they can effortlessly withstand the sun's rays. While that makes them more docile, it does not physically harm them in any way, shape, or form. Another thing is that spiders thrive in incredibly varied environments, although the undead do too. The only biological downside to spiders is the fact that they are carnivores, which is of course less efficient than being a herbivore, combined with the unfortunate implication that they cannot consume as wide a variety of food as omnivores. Although you could easily argue that being a carnivore or herbivore is superior, as they only need to eat one variety of food, not both. The villagers/pillagers lack the numbers of many other species, but make up for it in adaptability in the form of their tools. Found almost everywhere in the overworld, these intelligent beings have access to complex technologies such as forming cloaks and iron golems that amplify both their population size and range. While currently a dream, it's possible that these villagers could one day colonize the Nether. However, they do have a weakness. Compared to other mobs, villagers take longer to reproduce. Unlike humans, however, it seems that their children are born somewhat self-sufficient. Endermen are found in every dimension but have a crippling weakness to water. This limits their presence in the overworld. The Nether population is similarly lacking. However, their home dimension is absolutely covered with them. Coupled with their general toughness and power, which makes it very difficult to lower their numbers, has awarded them a comfortable spot in. On the polar opposite spectrum, we have Endermites. These little bugs are very little going for them. They are physically unimposing, their population is dreadfully low, and they directly depend on another creature to reproduce. Not to mention they are incredibly aggressive towards things that could easily kill them. Golems aren't much better. While the iron golems are mighty fighters, they are lacking in every other category. Taking a tremendous amount of resources to make, these entities are a rare sight indeed. Making things worse for them is the fact that only a handful of beings can produce iron golems. Sadly, this trend continues with snow golems. In many ways, these fluffy beings are even worse than their iron counterparts. Not only are they basically extinct and can only be created by the player, snow golems also possess many physical vulnerabilities, water, heat, and others. They also lack any real way of damaging most creatures. Slime/magma cubes are a fairly mediocre species, definitely difficult to kill, and with a decently sized population. Their main detriment comes with how specific an environment they need in order to survive. Slimes require dark, warm, and moist areas, while their nether counterparts seem to excel only in the basalt deltas. While I am unsure why this is the case, perhaps the necessary minerals which sustain magma cube life are only found in high enough concentrations in the deltas.